What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another Seeking Sister Wife video, season 4, episode 3. But of course, let's begin by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel and every single person that is a member of Patreon, where you can find our unrestricted content. Yes, the content that we can never ever have on YouTube because, well, we're just simply not allowed. But hey, the link for that is down below in the description. But with that being said, let's get into this week's episode.
To be like adults. Maybe we'll do like a Chardonnay. Me and Terrence are planning the date for Bina and Marcus to go on. I think it's good that she knows that we're in support, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm still apprehensive and I don't necessarily know if I'm 100% ready to watch him date someone else.
Is this how we're starting the episode? So he's going on a date, but I'm unsure. I'm apprehensive if I'm ready to see him go. So why is he going on a date then if you're not ready for it? Isn't that just a recipe for disaster? A recipe for toxic vibes? Like, please, I have that one question that I always ask. Can we make sense out of no sense? Because as far as I'm concerned, that whole line legit had no sense behind it because, well, he's still going on the date anyway. And maybe, not maybe, and you should have addressed this and said, listen, I'm not ready. So I don't want you to go on the date. Maybe she has. Maybe she has. Maybe that conversation's been had. But if it has been had, guess what? The date is still happening. So to be honest, you're going to have to shove your I'm not ready type attitude out the window because it's going to happen anyway. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Let's continue. This is already off to a start.
So how do you feel? Like, I mean, I know we've been saying for a while, like, we're ready to open up a family, like, look for a third. But this is like, it's really real. Yeah, like, it's real now, you know, planning a date.
The thought of him dating, does it make me cringe a little? Yeah, because it's like he gets to go and date and fall in love with this new person, you know? Marcus and Taryn have both known Bina for a really long time, and so if they think that she would be a good fit for our family, I definitely trust their judgment. Our chemistry and our dynamic is so strong. We have such a good vibe with just the three of us. Just the thought of it potentially not being that dynamic anymore scares me.
Or if it changes our dynamic between the three of us too, and then we can go back from there.
What was it like for you?
What was it like for me? It was tough at times. There was a lot of times where, you know, we were at a stage where we weren't together and still wanting to still be a family. And so when it would come time where it's like, oh, like me and India are going to take the boys to do this, and I'm just like, those my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you know, like for me, I didn't mind as much that he had a relationship with you. It's just, I guess when it starts to get serious is when it's like, and I don't like this.
So, you know what? Maybe I'm missing the mark. Maybe I'm never going to understand how the poly relationship lifestyle is meant to work or relationships meant to work. But why go into something if you're going to have concerns? Now, we all know that the poly lifestyle was never originally the plan for the three. It was never necessarily a plan, right? It was something that just happened to happen. And to be honest, once it happens to happen, it's going to happen again. So to be honest with you, this new woman coming in, the third one, she may not even be the last. But the matter of fact is, it seems to me as if, of course, the two ladies got comfortable with just it being them two, and obviously getting used to that lifestyle where they thought maybe this is it. This is as far as it's gonna go. But ladies, we should know men now. If a man knows he can have more than one woman, he's not gonna settle for two. He's gonna keep pushing the boundaries until he can get as many as he can. Okay? It's always gonna be the case. But here's the thing though, the matter of fact is that is not the point I'm trying to make it. The point that I'm trying to make it is that, well, yeah, you decided to, you know, be a part of this lifestyle. So therefore, really and truly, yes, you're human. Yes, you're allowed to have concerns. Yes, you're allowed to express how you're feeling. Yes, you're going to have some insecurities here and there. But the fact is though, why? Because you're still in this lifestyle regardless. So you just gotta let bygones be bygones. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a part of it, right? But if any women want to kind of try the poly with me, let me know. You know what I mean? You know what the DMs are, right? Hey, calm yourself down. Stay out of my DMs. I always say one woman is one problem. Two, I mean, listen. You know what? Now, let's just continue. Yes.
He didn't know. Marcus started dating India, and we didn't want to interact or, anything like that. But, I stuck around. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. They were in a relationship. I was at the house. It was tough, and I know it would be tough for a lot of women. But I knew it was what he needed at that time in his life.
Yeah.
And I love him.
And I know what that time was, and so I'm not going to,
You came in clutch. You made him feel good.
She knew that's what he needed at the time. Okay. So what about what you needed? It goes back to what I was saying before. If a man knows he can have more than one woman, it's gonna potentially become recurrent. So she knew that he needed that at the time. So she was more than happy to stick around to see how it was gonna play out and neglect her needs because she wanted to be with him that bad. So it brings me to the next question. Are we now in the same position again where they know that this is what he needs? So how many times is he gonna have needs that you're gonna have to accommodate while your needs are ignored? That's what I want to know. That's where it gets interesting. See what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man. If all I gotta do is find a woman who's gonna make sure that my needs are met no matter what, then goddamn, I'm living life wrong. Yeah. But I'm a sensible man. I like to stick to one woman. Yes. Anyway, man, let's continue.
Right when me and Marcus first started to date, his grandmother, who was a mother figure in his life, passed away shortly after that. And so it was definitely a tough time, but I think it was also a time that really brought us closer together. Why is this making me?
Because it was a tough time for all of us.
And now we're here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I never knew or thought that would happen. We just need to take our time, fill it out, make sure it's right, and we'll know. If it's not right, we'll know.
Now that we've decided to start dating, although this is something that I definitely think our family needs, I'm still apprehensive. The thought of me watching Marcus fall in love with someone else, I think it's going to be hard for me to watch. I think I know me very well. I am territorial. Watching the person that you love so much now go love someone else, it's like, no, I just want all your love for us, and I don't want to share it.
Sorry to break it to you, India, but hey, it's looking peak for you. I'm so evil. Anyway, let's continue.
Mitchell. You're so special. We've been talking to Roberta. I'd seen her on a video call, sad, crying because Leah's here instead of her. So it's hard.
Kisses.
Say God, Jesus.
She has constant roller coaster of emotions all the time. So I'm gonna just be patient with her, and hopefully we can keep building our relationship, because I don't want to build up any type of resentment towards her, and I tend to shut down when I have issues, and I know that I can't do that in this situation. That could be detrimental for the relationship. Do you need help?
I don't know. I was gonna start cutting those up.
I just don't like this guy. That's all it is to me. There's two. It's this guy and the other guy. When I get to him, I'm gonna get to the garrick. Just don't like this guy. He's fully phony. There's something very off key about this. Man's got ladies of all different flavors. I say this every week. Okay, this is episode 3 now. He's got the black team, the melanin beauty. Yes. Then he's got the I don't know if Brazil's Latin. Is it Latino? I'm sure it is right. It is right. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But he's got the Latino. Right? You know what I'm saying? He's got the sauce. He's got the olive skin. Then he's got the white thing. You know what I'm saying? Huh? A full American woman. So he's got different flavors. And you're telling me that this guy's not gonna sit here on camera crying about the thing that's not even in the same country as him. He's crying because she's crying. What? Maybe I'm insensitive. I don't know. I know I am insensitive. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe I'm being too insensitive, but I just don't see what the issue is here. Bro, if she's gonna be over there crying and weeping about the fact that you've got a new woman into the picture, that sounds like her problem, because she knows what lifestyle she signed up for. This is like one of those situations, you know, when you get parents where they're more sensitive to a certain child rather than the other one. You know, when you got the older child, the middle child, you got the younger child, and you know, they all got different levels of how they want to treat that child. And then the middle child is always the one that's going to watch it and be like, oh, how comes the older child gets this? How comes the young one gets this one? And then you got the situation where the older child always looks out for the younger child, but never really looks out for the middle child. You know, them kind of dynamics in that. That's the vibe that I'm getting here, you know, and it's like, yo, we're all family, like, let's just be nice to each other, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is that, I don't know why he's on camera crying with this one here who's being petty as hell when he's got two flavors right there, right now. If it was me personally, call me a dick, I don't know, call me a bit insensitive, but as far as I'm concerned, if I'm on a video call because I've just introduced the new woman to in our lives, okay, to you, and you want to make this whole thing about you, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to be like, listen. I know you're hurting right now for whatever, but don't worry, yeah? We'll talk about this later on. Let me just hang up and we'll talk about it later on. Forget about being there for at that point. Forget about it because she's attention seeking. I would know. So I'll be like, we'll just talk about it later on. After that, hang up the phone. Hey, my white princess. Hey, my melanin princess. Or should I say Caucasian princess? Yes. How you doing? Not gonna lie to you, everything that I just said, that last bit, was me thinking with my weapon of mass distraction. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, man, let's just continue. I just don't like Garrick, man. There's something very off-key about him, especially him and Roberta. Very off-key things about them two, you know. I think personally that the other two ladies should just leave them two to be honest with you. But hey, that's just my opinion.
Are you okay?
Oh, just
The call with Roberta, it was very emotional, very, very emotional. So I just wanted to check in with Garrick to kind of see how everything's going. I'm finished. There's only 3 of us. I don't want to cut up too much.
That's true.
And I also wanted to just have that time in the kitchen with him just to bond, you know, and just see if there was any chemistry there. I seasoned this chicken hella good, huh?
Yeah, you did.
It smells so good. It's not even cooked. Now that's one thing I can't do is season some meat.
Oh, there you go.
That didn't even sound right. I definitely feel the vibes when I'm around him. I feel that he's very respectful. He's not ropey. I appreciate it, but I can tell he really likes me.
Yeah, it's going. Okay.
Do you need anything else, like, to, like, flip it? Or is that what this is?
No, I'll clean it after it heats up.
Are you gonna, like, flip the meat over?
No, I'm gonna look at it.
Huh?
I'll just look at it like,
No, you need, like, a spatula.
I know. I'm teasing you.
I'm excited to see where everything's gonna go.
Call me inappropriate, but listen, man just saw the girl's back in that. Man just saw the girl. I just saw her back. You don't know what I'm talking about. It is what it is. And my man was 2 seconds ago crying about XYZ. You know what? Let me make a point about him crying a minute ago, and now all of a sudden his demeanor's changed. Let me tell you something real quick. This guy is a master manipulator, okay? What he's doing is playing the field, okay? He's crying with Roberta so he makes sure that she feels reassured that he ain't going nowhere, so she stays around. Roberta goes, now he's all happy Larry, you know what I mean? Obviously, he's now like, well, it's just me and you now. And to be honest with you, you'd think that on her arrival, the first thing that they'd want to do is spend some more time together and, you know, even get a little bit freaky deaky. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd be getting freaky deaky real quick. I ain't wasting no time, but that's just me. And of course, we've got obviously Danielle too at the same time, you know, and I think Danielle obviously does like the new dish anyway. So to be honest with you, it's like he's playing the cards. It's like he will be emotional with Roberta because he knows that's what she needs. And that's how he's going to, you know, keep her around. But then when it comes to, is it Leia? Man, I think her name is Leia or Lee. I'm not too sure. I do apologize. You know, with her, he's already changed the tone already. He's already given her that sexual vibe because that's exactly what she's giving him anyway. And then obviously with Danielle, he gives her a whole different freaking ballgame. To be honest with you, Danielle's the one that will always be mugged off because he knows that no matter what he does, Danielle is always going to be here. And that is the problem with Danielle. Danielle needs to learn how to get up and leave. Because as far as I'm concerned, she's always going to be the one that's going to get the short end of the straw in every scenario possible. That's what I think anyway, personally, especially based on some of the things that I've seen from last season and some of the comments that you guys have made about their relationship last season as well. Danielle, I don't know what you're doing in your life. You're a beautiful woman. You need to get up and go find yourself a guy that's always going to make you feel like a priority. He's never going to leave you to feel like you're, you know, last fiddle or XYZ. Anyway, that's just me. Let's get into it.
It smells hella good. Yeah. So what are your boundaries? Like, how do you feel about
No sex. That's the commitment for life. Like, we don't take it lightly, and that's you becoming one.
I'm seeing Danielle as a bit of a gatekeeper and a guide in our relationship. I feel that we might need a little bit more room to be able to grow naturally. And you can rest assured I'm not trying to sleep with your husband, girl. I'm just trying to get
Remember I said to you that she's all about that sexual stuff. Told you, that's the vibe that she was giving him. And that's why now he's responding to that sexual vibe. Roberta responds with the emotional vibe, responds with the sexual vibe. Danielle, on the other hand, I think it's very clear that they don't love each other anymore. It's just that simple. Danielle's trying to force something that isn't there, and Jared just keeps her around just for the sake of having her around, because why get rid of her if she's always still going to be there? It's extra fun for him. Yeah.
And it helps me to grow. It helps me to self-reflect.
I think there's one thing Cydia never says. He loves women, he does. And so he loves seeing them in the house together, like taking care of the kids.
Women have a particular warmth and energy, and to have more of that, I think, is a beautiful thing.
When I first came into the family and the relationship with Cydia, he already had a wife and kids. And so I came in as a second wife. As time went on, I think she was really sad because at the same time, I was falling in love with the lifestyle. And so she ended up deciding to leave. And then after some time, I decided to stay. Looking back when we were good with our first wife, I just adore the dynamic of like extra moms for the kids, and kind of having someone around all the time is something I really appreciate.
Oh, a little too high. I have 3 kids. Tyrion is 8, Ellie is 10, and Liam is 14.
First time we've been introduced to this couple, and I'm going to tell you this right now, this guy's off key. In fact, both of them are off key. I know I say all the time, but there's something very off key about these two. But okay, let's let it play out.
Sure, if I would even be able to commit to a polygamous relationship, as I'm just starting to explore, you know?
Sure. So far in our seeking, we haven't had a tremendous amount of success, but we know that it will enrich our lives and our children's lives.
Yeah. I have reservations in general about.
You feel like this maybe isn't the right path for you? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Things didn't necessarily work out in the end.
It's really hard to find someone who meshes well with the kids or has chemistry with Ian and works well with me. We
control freaks. It's either he's a control freak or they both are. I'm just getting that vibe. Yeah. I want to explain why, but no, too early. I'm getting that vibe. Let's let it. Yeah.
I've been dating long distance in the Philippines. She's a beauty pageant winner, and she is drop dead gorgeous. Long, beautiful hair, perfect face, full lips, amazing body.
Ariel is a friend I met at work, gosh, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and I actually went on a work trip to the Philippines and spent a lot of time with her. I brought up the idea with Ariel of just testing it out and trying to date Cydia because I just grown to really adore her as a person, and when thinking about somebody I'd want as a sister wife, she fits the bill.
Ariel's perfect for us because she's so genuine. She has great emotional intelligence.
And she's not hesitant about Cydia around.
She does do that.
So is she there?
Hey, Ariel.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
Good.
We've missed you and wanted to catch up with you.
Missed you guys too.
How are you? How are you and your family?
You're actually already asking me what I wanted to do on my birthday because usually it's always my dad who gets excited to celebrate birthdays in the family. And it's only November 1 and he's already asking me what I want.
Not gonna lie, I'm just saying this for the sake of saying this, but I'm so happy that she speaks clear English because sometimes having to read subtitles is just a chore. Yeah, just expressing what I'm thinking, and I know many of you are thinking it too. Especially now I said it. Let's continue.
Videos. Great.
Ariel and I have not yet met in person. We've tried twice to meet up with Ariel and failed twice, which is pretty discouraging. I get a little worried that Ariel would eventually say, like, sorry guys, this is too much trouble for me.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Plus the fact for me.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Plus the fact that she comes from a conservative background. I do worry a little bit that her family may not approve of the relationship, and so she might decide that she wants to pursue something easier. We really miss you, and we're gonna go for now, but it's great to see you again.
I love it when people put their priorities in certain places. So, you know, when it comes to this couple, they've got children. Well, he has children that lives with them both. And, well, he's concerned about the fact that he hasn't met her, which is a big red flag. And that she may change her mind because of her family, okay, which is a possibility. But the reason why it's a big red flag that he hasn't met her yet is because, you see, he's neglecting the fact that she hasn't even met their children yet. One of the other things that they've spoken about other people is bringing them into their life and also accepting the children as well as themselves as well. So the matter of the fact is, if she hasn't even been around their children and they don't even know how she's going to be as a second wife around the children, well then shouldn't that be the key thing? I think, to be honest with you, when you've got a child, I think it is very risky meeting someone that is abroad and bringing them into your life without even meeting them, or without even knowing them for some amount of time, and without them even meeting your children as well to a certain degree. Obviously, it really depends on how old your children are, of course. But the fact is, when children are involved, your priority shouldn't be that, oh, she might leave because X, Y, Z. The priority should be, we got to see how she does with our children as well as us. Some people, you know, They neglect that stuff. Parenting. Yeah.
Baby. How you doing? That's good. You like some juice?
Yes, please.
My first solo date with Danielle went great, and things seem to be getting pretty serious. I really enjoyed being able to spend time with you. That was a lot of fun.
Me too.
Danielle and I had sex last night after our date. This morning, April and Jennifer got up and went to work.
Did I? I think I just... Hold on a minute.
My first solo date with Danielle went great, and things seem to be getting pretty serious. I really enjoyed being able to spend time with you. That was a lot of fun.
Me too.
Danielle and I had sex last night after our date. This morning.
Right. So here's the thing. This guy, disgusting. The way he said that was disgusting. Pure ultimate creep. Danielle had her sex last night. And if you haven't seen the videos I made before this, then you get to know. But yeah. Let's continue with this guy.
Decisions, it's not only taking my own desires or wants into consideration. I understand that this has to be a harmonious thing. You know, maybe this weekend we can get back together and hang out and do some more.
I really do.
Sorry for the recording parts. I've kind of botched it a little bit here and there. Do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But let's proceed. You see, it's always and only going to be about his desires. Nothing else but that. I don't know why these women are entertaining this guy. I don't know how he's got this power over them, to be honest with you. It's ludicrous. And the fact that the ladies keep getting younger and younger is even more concerning. I don't know what kind of madness he's trying to create here, but it needs to be put to an end. That's all I want to say. Yes, I'm judging real strong, because it's uncomfortable to watch this guy, the man that doesn't work, talking about how me and Daniel had a lay-in. Bro, you always have a lay-in because you don't work. Fool.
Possibly it was like a phase or something that I was passing through, that I wasn't actually as serious about living this way as I am. It's important for us to make sure we strategize about going forward with Danielle. There's just so many things we have to take into consideration to make sure we're making the right steps. My first concern is keeping this foundation secure.
Man used the word strategized. You see, no matter what he says, I'm always going to look into it on a deep level because I just don't trust him. So man says strategize. What are we strategizing, bro? What are we strategizing? Now, but of course, on a general level of not judging him per se, obviously, you know, there's a lot of things they have taken into consideration because, of course, it is not nice to bring someone in and then ruin the foundation of what they already have. But to be honest with you, the wife, April, I believe, she looks a bit unsure, you know? Well, to be fair, she looked more like, you mean that you have to set a strategize and you've got to let us know whether she's coming or not. What we got to say, really and truly, is irrelevant. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why she gave him the look of, you're talking about strategizing, when in reality it's always going to be about what you want. Because, hey, look at it this way. We work, you don't. We do everything, you don't. You get, we just here.
You always make me nervous, always.
Marcus and I have never dated in the past. I thought being in a polygamous relationship is a joke for the most part, but I guess over the years now, I see that he's serious about it. And I am attracted to Marcus.
There's always a recipe for an abomination. There's always a recipe for a disaster. They've never dated in the past, which doesn't mean anything. But she's obviously never been in a polygamous relationship before, that's for sure. This is more like somewhat of an experiment, shall I say? This is not going to play out nicely. If it does, I'll be very surprised. But let's see.
What is this fanciness? Is this all for me?
Yes, it is all for you. Trying to date Bina has been more difficult than other people because we've been friends for years, but I am really feeling her, the idea of her joining our family, and I think if she was honest with herself about it, Bina would say that she was interested in dating me or being a part of my family from the beginning.
Literally, in yesterday's live stream, I was talking about men and women not necessarily always being able to have beef. I was talking about the friendship between men and women, and I've always said if a woman is friends with a straight man, if he ever gets the opportunity to slide in there, he's going to take it. Marcus. See what's happening here. I see what's happening here. He's been friends with her for a long time, and now she's open to allowing him to enter the gates of heaven, shall I say. He's like, well, come along, come and join our family. I'm telling you, this is a prime example of why I always say a straight man can never just be your friend. And if he's your friend because he's waiting for that opportunity to finally open your legs. Always going to happen as long as that opportunity comes. Tell me otherwise. I'll give yourself. I'll always stand by that because, boy, look what's happening right here. But this guy, not only has he been able to actually, not only has he been invited to the gates of heaven, but at the same time, though, he's also managed to get her to want to even join him in his already situationship. That's not a situationship, but yeah, man, I don't know what magical powers my man has here. I don't know if I'd want them, to be fair, because they're quite dangerous powers, but. Keep doing you. You just keep doing you. Until the drama comes and the backlash comes and then you got 3 angry women and they're all going crazy. That's drama that I would not want to be a part of, but I'd happily watch and enjoy. Not gonna lie to you, but let's continue.
Andy and Taryn did absolutely amazing this together. And it just so happened to match what I had on. So I thought that was perfect.
Where's this?
What? It's a cookie.
Listen to this.
Lick it.
Nah. I lick some things, but I ain't licking that. It's good. Look, now you want to have some?
Not good.
Oh, yes, you don't have no cream on there.
Okay, question. What would be the best advice you would give somebody to come into this type of relationship?
If you're going to be in this dynamic lifestyle, you got to be able to tend to multiple people. And I think I've proven over the course of my life in general, I can do that. You know what I mean?
How many people or how many wives do you expect to?
No, I feel like for me, three is a charm.
3 is a charm.
We've all.
Remember what I said. Once he knows he has the ability to have 1 wife and 2. Once he knows he has the ability to have more than 1 wife, he's going to want to add another one. He talks about 3 being the charm. No, that's just him being charming. A 4th one will be coming at some point if the 3rd one does actually join them. Mark my words. The only way it won't happen is if, well, because I've said it now, and he might be like, damn, I'm being caught out. I can't really have the 4th one anymore. And I already had one lined up. Another one of my female friends from a very long time ago was already lined up to be next. One thing that I know is I know how men work, especially men. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go. Yeah.
Happens. Right. Taryn and I've been together 16 years. You know that. Indy and I only been together 4 years. So for Indy, a lot of times she feels like it's us against her sometimes, and I feel like when we talk about bringing in somebody additional, it's so that there can be more balance and equal.
Right.
You don't get that balance or equal because we've known you for years too. You know what I mean? So that's something I'm concerned about.
Oh, so I gotta team up. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, like go on and make that your BFF, your bestie. Sometimes India feels left out. Now, also friendship between Dean and Taryn and I, maybe there should be someone on a more neutral ground because it's so important to me not to rock the boat that we have sailing already.
I'm quit interrogating you. So
no, you
I
can't.
I got questions from a long time.
You want me to tell you what makes me feel good about you asking all these questions?
Because I'm finally talking to
you.
Yeah,
like, because I always say that I feel like I typically can handle and manage just about everything, right? But I've never been able to handle and manage baby. I just haven't. You're just so independent.
What direction? I'm a butterfly.
Not gonna lie, some of these questions are the questions that maybe Inda should have been asking too. Yeah. She's promising. Wait. I'm not courting her, okay? I'm just saying good vibes, yes. Until the storm comes. I'm gonna lie to you, I'm waiting for that storm. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I messed up. You don't need to tell me, yes.
Men want women. Some men may have a need for multiple people. That feels better than you doing it behind my back. So I'd rather us be a team versus you just doing whatever you want to do. As I'm getting older, I realize that monogamous relationships don't work because of cheating, pretty much. Polygamous relationship feels like a better relationship to me, a lot more open. Why should there be secrets? Somebody know where you're at whatever point in time. This feels like it should feel, I think.
I don't care what anybody says, but you can cheat in any relationship. Case closed. But good luck to you.
Be compatible. So like, how would the house go? Like, as far as you like being there, or
as Bert comes into the house too, Bert is learning English, so she doesn't have that liberty to have a job and work. So that her role might be that initially.
I work in the hospital for 8 to 12 hours. I don't feel like I should have to come home and do laundry and cook. That's just me personally. half the time I'll eat on my way home or at work. So
12 hours a day, that concerns me. You know, I've heard nurses doing like 312s. Well, then you got a bunch of days to really enjoy the family, and you're there a lot more. So if she want to work 5 days a week, 12 hours a day. I have a successful construction company to build homes, and, you know, definitely busy doing that. So it'd be nice to, you know, have somebody else around to help with things in the house. I don't know if 12 hours would be good. That's a long time to be away from the family.
So in a nutshell, he wants her to leave. He wants her to leave her jobs, and therefore he can obviously keep paying for everything. So basically, you know, yeah, he's just one of them people. You know, he's one of them men. Like, my woman doesn't do work; she just needs to be home doing what women are supposed to be doing. That's the vibe that I got.
I'd like to see maybe more, like 30 hours or something at work.
what?
And then if you help around and you're a part of the family and work together doing things, I'd prefer that. But saying that she doesn't feel like she should do chores and laundry or different things, it's a red flag.
I think it was a little bit of a red flag just because that, to me, that mindset isn't like working together. Like whatever needs to be done, because a plural family, part of that to me, and I think Garrick too, is that, you know, we're there to help each other and support each other.
It would be a big adjustment for me because I'm used to, you know, doing what I do in my career. So I have like my own goals and like personal ambitions and things like that. So that would be interesting. I want to go back to school and I don't know about working 30 hours a week.
I mean,
that's like really important to me. Like my son being happy and like me being able to thrive in my career the way I really want to, like that is big for me.
I think there is a definite independence about Leah that that's part of her character. She has been alone for a long time.
Yeah. Plural family has to be united.
They have to be willing to make sacrifices for each other.
That's the one thing I'm a little hesitant about.
I mean, she's been a single mom as well for a long time. Independence is going to be a big part of her. I wouldn't really call it a red flag personally, you know. I just think that maybe there's room for adjustments, you know, but they're going to need to be patient for it. That's what it is. I think it's too harsh to say that it's a red flag. I just think it's a simple of patience.
Excited.
Tell me that part.
She was excited that y'all contributed in it, like that meant something to her. Let me tell y'all.
What are you thinking after this?
Well, you know that she's gonna be leaving the day after tomorrow.
Okay.
I've invited her to come over tomorrow evening. So y'all, how do y'all feel about the whole? I mean, like, where are y'all as far as right now with me? I know you weren't expecting me to come home and say I'm ready to go to the next level or do this.
Marcus gets home from the date with Bina and he wants to talk about the next step. And it really threw me off because I didn't think that we would be having conversations like this just yet at all. We shall see.
When us talking about this, I have a question I want to ask y'all. Like, we haven't discussed this, so we talk about our process, but like, I didn't marry you before I tested in waters. I didn't marry you before I tested in waters either. And I'm just curious at where in this process did the sex happen? That's what I'm just saying.
It was funny that you brought it up. Is it because you wanted to have it early on in this process? Because why did you just bring it up?
Organically, in a dating situation, that could happen at any time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the first time that I'm really having a conversation with India and with Taryn about when sex happens throughout this dating process. We haven't really visited because there is already a history there with Bina. And at this point, I'll be honest, a lot of me wants to know, like, is the sex going to be just as fire as the friendship is between the two of us?
I think that it should just happen organically. I don't think that you need to come to me or sis and be like, hey guys, I'm thinking about having sex with Bina. Like, don't tell me that.
And I disagree. I disagree for sure. You should at least, and I'll speak for myself, inform me of when you're ready for that step, because I feel like then that is serious, and this is somebody, if you are about to share yourself with them in that intimate way, you probably do feel like this is somebody that could be a fit for our family. At that point, we all, I feel like, need to be on the same page. You know what I mean?
So it's never organic.
This is fast. If he moves too fast on his end and decides to jump the gun and have sex, and then we haven't made connections, like, we kind of put the cart before the horse here, and so then we have to do some backpedaling. So we all need to have chemistry with this person before it gets to a physical level.
I have a question. Okay. Would you ever give him a green light?
Yeah, I would, but the fact that we're talking about it now and it was just the first date makes me feel like you're trying to fast track this. Sarah just be like, yeah, go with it, yeah, go, yeah, we can be down for it, yeah, do it.
And India's like, you can go date somebody. Absolutely not. Don't look at that woman. You can't talk to her. Don't go on a date, but go on a date because we want a third wife, but don't.
Right.
You got to create boundaries when you've had no boundaries, you know? There's layers to this. There's you, there's us, and then there's the kids. I think once the person has passed the kids, because now we know we serious, you've met my children. Maybe after that point, then it's like we're officially giving the green light.
That is a very, very serious decision.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody I'm passing on.
Sex.
I agree. But flip it back and take yourself out of it for a second. If you're a single woman with children, you ain't bringing no man home unless you already envision that they could be a part of your family. Because we can't play I don't want to play the game with the kids where now this person, and then I have sex with them, sex is bad, and this is never ever going to happen. Now my kids are playing in the middle of my sex life too. So no.
I think this is another layer that just makes
It's always
it.
going to be difficult, and it's never going to be. And so let's not put the kids out there too to make it.
We just don't put your wanker out there.
Next time on Seeking Sister Wife.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. India's always gonna be talking from a perspective where she doesn't actually know this woman. You see what I'm saying? Territorial has met this woman. She knows her. So it's okay for her to be like, yeah, man, organically, whatever. And she's been through the process as well of being on this side, so she understands. India's first time being on this side, and of course she doesn't know the woman. So obviously her perspective is going to be very different. But if I was in a situation and I was Marcus, I would basically not side, but I would agree with what India's saying. Why? Well, because the thing is though, she did bring up points about obviously meeting the family, meeting the children. There's no point of you going out there and sleeping with this woman and then nothing marinates from it, because therefore it's pointless. You've then now had fun with someone else, you know, that it's not really cool. It makes things very unbalanced. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that aspect. And also on top of that, just because, and that was just a weak response from Marcus, just because, got her name now, but just because she's already, just because she's a mum, it doesn't mean that she's not going to be looking around moving wild. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I can tell you that there's plenty of single mums, you know, that happily have fun with someone and that's it. So I would never use that as a reason. I'm not saying that this is the case with this woman, but again, India's never met the woman. She's never got to know the woman. She knows nothing about her. So therefore, she can only say what is right. So to be honest with you, I think at the end of the day, it makes more and more sense for them to wait until the woman comes to the house, meets the family. The both ladies, well, at least India knows that she can vibe with her. She knows that she can get along with her, you know, and also to know that the kids are going to be fine. Now, don't get me wrong though. I've seen the date, and I think that them two had a brilliant date. You know what I mean? And I don't think that woman is out here to just have fun and dip. I do generally feel like she's looking for something 100% serious. Don't get it twisted. But that's because I was able to see the date. India didn't see the date, so therefore everything that she says has to stand. And that's why if I was in Mark's situation, I'd be like, you know what? I respect what you're saying, and at the same time, it's your first side. So you know what? Let's go with that. That's cool. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want to look like is if you're just ready to get your wet. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because the gates are open doesn't mean you got to go through it straight away. Especially when you already got a foundation of two other women as well. So I'm have to side with India. I was expecting India to say something that I wasn't really gonna side with, but I'm gonna side with it. Yeah. But nonetheless, though, let me know what you're thinking in the comment section, and we'll talk about it. Like, subscribe, and peace.